something went on, an affair, an adulterous relationship. But Jezebel got in that bloodline somewhere, and now you get this child. He's suffering. And you comfortable with this? See, is this kind? And you can say, oh, he was born gay, talking a bunch of nonsense. What are we doing, Bahamas? Like I said, being petty today, Bahamas, but I had to get to a point. The point I'm trying to get to is we are uncomfortable about the wrong things. That's why I give you all the examples with Jesus. I mean, Jesus in the boat is a hurricane. They're about to die. The boat about to sink. Jesus is asleep. He is not up. I mean, he's comfortable enough to sleep in a hurricane. But the things we should be uncomfortable about, teenage pregnancies. You was a teenage pregnancy. Your mother was a teenage pregnancy. Her mother, all these, and you can't see that in the bloodline. And you about to leave this earth with this curse here, this generational curse. Ain't no generational wealth there. This is a generational curse. But you're uncomfortable about everything else? It don't make no sense, Bahamas. God, Richard, may bless us, guard us, protect us, and help us to be uncomfortable about the right things. And what we need to be uncomfortable with, the Heavenly Father, is this kind of spirit that only leaves through prayer and fasting. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13 and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
Your weekend news just got better. Exciting features. It's all about the feeling. It's the Northern Vibes with Raven Davis.
Good evening and welcome to Northern Vibes, your go-to show for everything arts, culture, entertainment, and so much more. I'm Raven Davis, and tonight we're spotlighting a Bahamian group that has rocked stages, lifted spirits, and carried the sound of gospel across the world. Powerful harmonies, melodic voices, all men, all ministry. For decades, the legendary Fabulous Cooling Waters has proven that great music and great faith never goes out of style. Take a look. Back in 1964, Grand Bahama was on the move. New opportunities, growing communities, and Sunday night church concerts that brought people together. Out of 8 Mile Rock, a group of young men came together with nothing but their voices, singing a cappella and quickly becoming crowd favorites. Everything changed when a young guitarist, Cleventon Lightbourne, joined the group. That moment sparked the evolution into a full band and the beginning of a sound that would stand the test of time. Today, they are known as the legendary Fabulous Cooling Waters. They've traveled throughout the Bahamas, the Caribbean, Turks and Caicos, and the United States, recorded some 10 albums, and recently celebrated 60 years in music, sharing stages with gospel giants along the way. Though some original members have passed on, the legacy continues through main members Lloyd Grant, Emmanuel Seafort, Cassine Jervis, and Wilbert Stubbs. Still standing strong and preparing to release a new album, the Fabulous Cooling Waters continue to represent the Bahamas wherever they go. Over 60 years of music and still inspiring. Gentlemen, welcome to Northern Vibes.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Awesome. Now, the Cooling Waters started out in 1964, and it is now 2026. Over 60 years. When you hear that, what comes to your mind?
Legacy, longevity, inspiration, continuity. Some of the things that come to my mind.
Awesome. Now, back in the day, people said that you guys were like rock stars, but you never chased fame. Why was humility such a big part of your story?
Well, what I can say is that none of us were there. The rock stars, of course, no, we heard the stories, but the men were very, very committed to saving the gospel. And any true gospel minister, singer, musician will know that anything you do with regards to the gospel, you depend on the Lord heavily. And anytime you depend on the Lord heavily, that means you're out of the picture. So that is a degree, that's where humility starts. And they were committed to singing the gospel. And you know, having rubbed shoulders with them and talking with them and watched how they live. And when you come to rehearsals, when I started, I was quite a young fellow. But I had an opportunity to play for those senior men. So just watching how they behaved and hearing the lessons that they would teach when we would come to rehearsals, you knew that these men were committed to this. And so depending on God brought the humility. So even though people would probably be cheering, you know, I saw a little bit of that coming toward their twilight years. Even though people would be cheering and sing Wash or sing the other one, or yay! The message of the gospel was their point. And I think that's a salient point for anyone who is engaged in the gospel. Depend on the Lord and you remain humble. So I think that was there.
And when you mentioned many of those senior men, we know many of the original group members have since passed on. Talk about who those men were and how the group started out.
Well, we're talking about men like O'Neill Hall. People hear the group singing. They had this high-pitched tenor. He's the original tenor singer. Then we have Lucian Curry, who's also passed. The alto, that's the one who I'm replacing in the group. And O'Neill Gardner, the soprano singer. He's replaced by my good friend here, Jervis. We have a lot of other senior persons that would have passed. The bass singer, Mr. Dennis Hall. The drummer, two first drummers, Walter Francis, I think his name was, and Freddie Wilkerson. A lot of persons who would have passed through, who's gone on. Our lead guitar, the first guitar, is in fact the first musician the group had. They sang a cappella before they had band, and the first musician was the guitar player, Cleverson Liburn, yes. He's also gone on. So we have the Cooling Waters is also in heaven now, as a matter of fact, a whole group.
I mean, what is interesting is that you didn't all come from one church.
No.
You come from several different denominations. Talk about how that comes together and you still manage to maintain that unified sound.
We're all brothers. We have, you mentioned it, that we come from different denominations. We have the Seventh-day Adventists, we have Baptists, we have the Brethren, and Church of God of Prophecy. And when a lot of men get together, and I love to hear men sing, and when we all get together, it's such a heavenly sound. And so when we just do what we do, when men get together, just sing melodiously.
What's so amazing about that is sometimes one leader doesn't get along with another leader and they tear apart. And here it is, you have a group where people are coming from different belief systems. And yet we could corral around the causes and purposes of this group and make our contribution in harmony. In harmony. When we stand to sing, people hear the message. And I think that's what's most important, that they get the message. But it's amazing how we get along. There's respect and honor for each other. And even when we argue, because of course all that's necessary for the well-being of everything. Sometimes you get some nice steamy arguments.
Oh, absolutely.
What are you about, though?
Oh, any number of things.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah.
No argument is loaded with,
dissension,
anger and bitterness.
Yeah, right.
Every man stands his ground, argues his point, then we come to a conclusion.
Absolutely.
And if you didn't win the argument this time, you just gotta go along with next time. Next time, in the bigger game.
Absolutely.
But it's beautiful to see that no matter where and for the time that has lasted, that speaks volumes about the mindset of men Cooling Waters is such a unique entity that it can sing anywhere. If you're having a crusade, the Cooling Waters can take you that. If you're having a Wednesday night midweek Bible study and prayer meeting, the Cooling Waters can take you that. If you're having a concert, the Cooling Waters can take you that.
Christening.
If you're having a baby's dedication, the Cooling Waters can take you that.
That's right. That's right.
In the gospel arena, the Cooling Waters has a song
for the occasion. That's right.
That could fit any occasion.
That's right.
You know, I've been places where an artist had to sing more than they intended to sing more than the time, and they ran out of songs, right? And so they started fishing all over for all kinds of different things to sing. With the Cooling Waters, we were in Turks and Caicos the other day. 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Non-stop.
Of singing.
Really?
Of singing. And repeat one song.
And we know that you write some of the songs as well.
Yes, some of our of course, well, here we have we're the new people. Yeah, we're the new people. So you had people like Lucian Curry, who wrote a whole lot of songs for the group. You have Bishop Washington Williams, who wrote a lot of songs for the group, and now the group leader, Pastor Lloyd Grant, he has written a number of songs likewise. And so you have songwriters, and I guess I can write one too. But these men are talented and gifted, and they get in there, work out the parts. You know, we musicians, we're there, making sure they get the chord structures right and all that kind of thing. And it happens. It's organic, it's alive.
Message to those phones to be, you know, I'm the newest member in the group, okay? And when I came to this group, I was in between, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, okay? So the style and everything was different. But to me, it inspires me, and it gives me inspiration to do what I do. And I really enjoy singing with them. And hey, like I said, I'm the youngest in the group, but I'm the oldest in the group.
Into a meeting, whatever the meeting is, and you hear "Has thine affection been nailed to the cross? Is thy heart right?" Something that happened with you. Something that happened with you. It does something to you, and then the group could come to an independence, a national service, and sing a song like "We Are One." You know, and it resonates with that crowd. Then even though I may be a black Bahamian, a white Bahamian, as Rodney Monk say, a Chinese Bahamian, or whatever Bahamian you are, there is this song that can tell you, hey, even as a nation, God made us to be one. And that song just brings you into it, and then there's nothing, what the song is now, it's coming to me, I've got one thing you can't take away.
What is that one song, though, that every time you go somewhere and you perform, the crowd does not let you leave it outside?
I would say God can.
God can. That's true.
God can. Really,
it's a testimony.
2 songs. We do God Can and we do River. That's complete. Everybody's satisfied. Everybody's satisfied.
Yeah.
God Can. Over the years, the song has been on and just totally revolutionized from where it started. But the effect that it had on crowds in the days of yore, it still has that same impact today. That man can walk on the water.
Yeah.
Take water in the Mayfire, take 5 loaves of fish,
2 fish, 5 loaves of bread,
5 loaves, 2 fish, and feed thousands. And it gives you this hope that whatever I'm going through, it may be, in my eyes, an insurmountable thing. God can fix it. God can. It just gives you that kind of thing. And then, of course, River is that very, very indigenous Bahamian kind of feel. We raking and we screaming. That get you buckling under the pressure that music and singing. So it's just the message of the songs that are just so beautiful.
And you've traveled all over several different Caribbean islands. You've traveled to the United States. What would you say is the most memorable experience you've had so far, Mr. Scott?
Well, there's so many of them. But for me, I would say, that's my last trip to the Turks and Caicos. The last one we did in the Turks and Caicos, and Bishop said something earlier. There are times that we can find songs for every occasion. And there was a gentleman there who have a restaurant, and he wanted us to do a jingle for the thing. And we just collaborated among ourselves within 2 minutes, and we had a jingle and it went viral. And his business, as a result of that, but on that, also on that trip, every time before we go on stage, we would get together, pray, and ask the Lord to use us as instruments, vessels to bring souls to Christ. And that's the key thing that we want at the end of it. And that same trip, while we were in the Turks and Caicos, we were on stage, and the songs, our lead singer was out there, he was singing that same song too. The man could walk on water and what have you. And it was ministering to me. Even though we were on stage singing, it had to first resonate within us. And I was just overwhelmed by what was happening. And when I look when got the tears, was able to see through the tears in my eye, and I saw persons who was giving, yielding to the Lord. Not so much what we were doing, but to the Lord. It gave me, a sense of gratitude that really God is really using us to get the word across. And then whenever we sing, if one person come to know the Lord as a result of it, Raven, I'm happy to know that, hey, we were part of that.
When you look back on your legacy, what do you want young Bahamians to take away from your journey and your music?
There's a song that says, if I could help somebody as I travel along this way of life, living my life every day. We can't allow for all the sacrifices that we've made and all that we've got to do in journey. And so I would hope, as a matter of fact, it would be good to embrace some of our younger, gifted people to join the Cooling Waters. Sometimes, when I joined, I'm a choir man. I like choirs, that kind of thing. So when I joined the group, I was immersed in choir music, and so this is a different spin altogether. And yes, the music was very senior, right? But what it did for me though was brought me to a place of balance, because it's always good when young and senior can mesh. And it's biblical that it happens that way. The scriptures declare that, I write unto you young men because you're strong. The word of God is able to abide me. And I write unto you old men because you know the way. And sometimes in our youthfulness, we take off with a whole lot of steam, but a little ways up the road we crash. And certain things will help us to crash. When our material is not being appreciated, when what we're doing does not seem to resonate with people, you get discouraged along the way. But because these seniors have been at it, they've experienced it, and the downturns, they can look and say, okay, I see where you're at. Just come along the journey. And so we really want to include a younger generation to keep this going on. Nothing wrong if the cooling waters last for another 60 years or more. But we're going to need the influx of younger gifted talent who are serious about the Lord to join and keep the legacy going on, so that our living will not be in vain.
Wow, that is what it's all about, sticking together, uplifting others, and with a new album on the way, I can't wait to see what they do next. Well, you're watching Northern Vibes, and we're just getting started. When we come back, it's news from around the North. Don't go anywhere.
Step into styles at Indulgence Ladies Boutique, located in number 5B Kent Building, just 2 doors down from D's Watch Repair. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., bringing you fashion for every occasion. Weddings, funerals, christenings, birthday, brunches, or just a night out. From plus size to regular, they've got the perfect fit for you. Discover handbags, perfume, body oils, fascinators, belt, and so much more. All in one place. Give them a call today at 826-0110. Indulgence Ladies Boutique, where fashion meets confidence.
Hello. What time is the flight?
No one asked us to go. Hello? Into the storm. Into the chaos. To witness devastation. No one asked us to go.
Are you ready?
Because it's the story that drives us forward, that brings truth to light, that connects us all. This is why we go.
Breaking news out of Grand Bahama, our Raven Davis has been covering this story all day and joins us live now with the latest. Raven, what can you tell us?
Now, Shamiko, I had a chance to speak to many of the residents, and many of them are concerned about... Welcome back. Secondary schools in Grand Bahama can expect a new history textbook in the curriculum as soon as this coming September with the launch of Towards a Common Loftier Goal. Our Matthew Monambaro was at this ceremonial launch and shares more details in this report.
The dream of launching the first ever all-Bahamian history book has now become a reality with the official introduction of Towards a Common Loftier Goal in Grand Bahama at the Foster B. Pastina Center. The appropriate title textbook aimed specifically towards secondary schools hopes to properly educate the younger generation about the past, present, and future, which has and will define our nation as a whole.
It is the affirmation of our collective belief that our story matters, that our heritage must be taught with intention, and that our children deserve to see themselves reflected accurately and proudly in what they learn.
Professor and co-chair of the History Text Steering Committee at the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Christopher Curry, speaks to the process of the textbook project, adding the softcover historical piece is completely original.
From June until September 2024, a systematic effort to address plagiarism was undertaken. Additional scans for readability level were conducted, and by the end of September, we had reached our targeted goal of 0%, thinking Darrell Miller, 0% plagiarism.
And Assistant Director of Education and Humanities Division, Perline Lewis-Baker, adds the textbook is all a part of the Education Department's initiative to ensure a Bahamian-centric curriculum.
A lot of what we teach is not even about the Bahamas. It's not Bahamian-centric. We know more about leaders. We see what's happening to Donald Trump in Switzerland. Everybody know Trump. But people can't tell you how some of our former leaders, like Mr. Thompson, raise your hand, stand, sir, distinguished gentleman, a former minister, a former member of parliament. But I'm sure everybody would remember Joe Biden. He is off the scene. So it's important for us as leaders in this space to ensure that the textbook and the curriculum is developed.
Towards a common, loftier goal, a history text for secondary schools will be implemented into the syllabus beginning in September of the 2026-27 academic year and is on sale for $75 wherever textbooks are available.
In other news, Bahama Rock is kicking off the new year with a hands-on philanthropic initiative, hosting a fun day at the Grand Bahama Children's Home. The event featured grilled burgers and hot dogs, face painting, and mini games, providing a day of fun and connection for the children. Company representatives say the activity forms part of their ongoing commitment to give back and support the community they proudly call home.
You know, last year we filled the pantry. That's like the third time we filled the pantry. But as we wanted to spend some time with the children, play some games with them, and let them have a good time. It's just our giving back to our community.
And this time we're back just to be here to have a more personal interaction with the children, to be a support and show them that we care, we love them, you know, and just be present.
Executive Director for the Grand Bahama Children's Home, Joan Hutchison, shares her admiration for the endeavor, noting that there has been a consistent partnership between the home and Bahama Rock.
So not only do they care about their feeding their bellies, but also being kind to them, entertaining them, being part of the family. And we can never repay them for that. They continue to do it. If there's anything we need, we know we can call on them to be able to come to our rescue. And that speaks volumes, because I know they're busy in the corporate world and doing what the community needs, but they've embraced us as part of that wider community. And we're, the children, myself, we're grateful.
Well, switching gears now, faith and fellowship set the tone for the year ahead as staff of ZNS Northern Service, along with board members and executive management, came together in worship at the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King. The service marked a moment of reflection and renewal as the network looks ahead to the work of the year. Shalia Roll files the details in this report.
ZNS Northern Service employees, executives, and the Minister of Social Services, Broadcasting and Information gathered in worship to mark the start of the new year. The service was held at the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King Anglican Church in Freeport, where a full mass brought full staff together in prayer, reflection, and fellowship. The congregation was led by Rector, the Reverend Father Kirkland Russell Jr., who delivered a message centered around sin, reminding worshipers of God's saving grace.
When those sins are taken away, it's thrown in what we call the sea of forgetfulness. From the Bahamians, some of us like to go fishing. We like to take our rod and we remember what you used to do back in 1989, 2005, 1968. Remember what you was doing? That was me then, brother, sister. But I've been cleansed, I've been washed, I've been transformed, I've been born again.
Minister of Social Services, Broadcasting and Information, the Honorable Miles LaRota, addressed the gathering, expressing pride in the work and quality of programming produced by the ZNS Northern Service. He commended staff for their dedication and continued commitment to informing and serving the public.
It is my pleasure to be here, but mostly to speak of the work that the Northern Service is doing. The product that they put out is as good as anywhere else in the Bahamas. The reporters, the Broadcasting Corporation is there. They have hired professionals and they are paid to do a job. And it is my view that those professionals should be allowed to do their job without political interference.
Also in attendance were ZNS General Manager Clint Watson and Deputy General Manager Darren Meadows, both emphasizing the importance of beginning the year in worship. They noted that starting the year grounded in faith helps guide leadership, strengthen unity, and set a positive tone for the work ahead.
We believe everything begins and ends with prayer and God. And the only way we can do our jobs effectively, successfully, is if we have Him cover us for the year. And so it's important to be able to look to Him for guidance for the year.
It's like to start the year off in church, receive the blessings, the mandate for the way forward for the year.
And that is going to do it for Northern Vibes on this Sunday. We hope you felt inspired by the brotherhood and the genuine love this group pours into others. We'll see you next week. Same vibes, same energy. I'm Raven Davis, and as promised, we leave you with the sounds of the legendary, fabulous Cooling Waters.
Take my hand, let me stand when no one stands alone. Take my
Interested in being featured on Northern Vibes? Shoot me an email at ra.davis@znsbahamas.com.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up at the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, a community left reeling and authorities scramble for answers after a man is killed in a violent assault. Plus, a daredevil rescue. A man survives a dramatic bridge jump, how quick-thinking bystanders saved his life, and what authorities say may have driven his attempt. In sports, Bahamas Aquatics kicks off the 2026 swim season with high energy. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders, and welcome to the broadcast. A quiet stretch of East Bay Street turned into a crime scene last night. Just after 8 p.m., a 68-year-old man was brutally beaten near Dunmore Lane and later died from his injuries. Police have launched a full investigation into the deadly attack. Police Press Liaison Officer, Chief Superintendent of Police Sherry King, provided these details.
Our officers from our Marine unit was in the area and observed the deceased being beaten about the upper body by another male. Since then, that male, the suspect, was taken into custody and is assisting police in our investigation.
Now, just heard there from Sherry King, a 39-year-old male in police custody in connection with this incident. Police say what triggered the violent confrontation remains unclear as investigators work to piece together the events behind the deadly attack.
At this present time, this matter is being classified as a death investigation until we do further investigation into this matter, a thorough investigation into this matter, and then we will properly classify this matter.
Tragedy on Abaco Saturday night. A 58-year-old man was killed after being struck by a vehicle on Forest Drive. Police say the driver stayed at the scene and is assisting police with the ongoing investigation. A 31-year-old reportedly jumped from the Sydney Poitier Bridge Saturday night in a suspected suicide attempt. Bystanders pulled him from the water and he's now in stable condition. Luckily, authorities say he has a medical condition and is on prescribed medication. Police investigating two separate shootings over the weekend. On Saturday night, a 60-year-old man was shot in the leg on Wilton Street after two hooded men fired at him as he ran from an establishment. He's in stable condition. Early Sunday, an argument between two motorists on East Street South ended with a 30-year-old man shot in the arm. He drove himself to the hospital and is stable. Both incidents now under investigation. Well, a $3 million drug bust in Bimini. Police, Defense Force, and U.S. counterparts seized 150 kilograms of suspected cocaine Saturday night after spotting man offloading coolers near a vessel at Buccaneer Point. The suspects fled in a black truck. No arrests were made. Investigation continues. Well, customs officers took center stage at Bethel Baptist Church this weekend for the International Customs Day. That and more when we come back.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
What if the reason you're stuck is because of the cycles you keep repeating? Cycles of fear, cycles of doubt, cycles of waiting for permission to live the life God already called you to. Every generation has a moment when destiny calls your name. On January 30th, 2026, that moment returns. The movement that awakened thousands is back. Bigger, bolder, and more purposeful than ever before. This is Shift 26. Under the theme, Shift into Wealth, No More Cycles. This is not just another conference. It is a divine interruption. It's your permission slip to shift once and for all. A reset for your faith, your focus, and your future. So mark your calendars, gather your tribe, because this time, you're not just coming to be inspired, you're coming to be transformed. Shift 26, January 30th, 2026 at the Bahamas Convention Center. No more waiting, no more cycles. It's time to shift into wealth.
Hi, I'm Desmond Saunders. I want you to tune in to the new Weekend Edition, Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m., where we have a whole lot of new stuff for you. All right, so I'll give you a sneak preview. Boldly Bahamians, Sizzle Saturdays, Parliamentary Bench, just to name a few. So buckle up and get ready for the ride. Coming this fall, the new Weekend Edition. Stay close. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
The thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health because if it happened to him, surely it could happen to me. Then came the fear, the anxiety, and everything else in between. Facing your own mortality is very sobering. But for me, I decided right then to have a colonoscopy. And I'm glad I did.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosed in Bahamian men and women. Fortunately, almost all colon cancers are preventable. A colonoscopy or some other appropriate form of colon cancer screening is recommended for everyone over the age of 45. During a colonoscopy, we can detect and remove colon polyps that may grow and later become colon cancers. Don't wait until you develop symptoms, such as blood in your stool, abdominal pain, a significant change in your bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss. These may all be indications of a severe problem that requires immediate attention. If you're over the age of 45 or have any of those symptoms, talk to your doctor about the benefits of colon cancer screening today.
Coming this fall, Royston Jones and Melina Leonard on the Bahamas Tonight Access Now. Weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Tune in and get your fill of community news. Family Island news, entertainment, and, well, sometimes slithering animals. That's the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal? At the check-in counter? At security checkpoints? Or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Customs officers gathered at Bethel Baptist Church this weekend to mark International Customs Day. Customs Controller Ralph Monroe says while the service highlights the international observance, an entire week is dedicated to celebrating the department's officers.
Throughout the region in particular, we take the whole week so that we can go to the public and we can apprise them of what our role is. We believe that if we do that, we can get better cooperation because at the basis of what we do is the trade facilitation, and the Bahamas imports everything, and so we are fully immersed in trade.
Well, Monroe says the week is all about training officers so the department can operate effectively in the 21st century.
It takes public education, and of course it's also the education of the customs official. The role of customs officer is continuously evolving. Trade changes, and therefore we've got to be up to date with what's happening internationally. And of course, we are in a developing society. It means that the customs officer must sharpen his tool. He must become better so that we can meet the demand of the public.
Well, we now have a report from the Free Nation Movement press conference that was held in Grand Bahama this evening. The Free Nation Movement calling for greater clarity on major development projects in Grand Bahama, including the Grand Lucayan Resort and the Grand Bahama International Airport. The opposition made the comments during a press conference, as I indicated, held at the resort earlier today. Ramiko Knowles has more.
We're here today because we believe that Grand Bahamians and the Bahamas deserve to know the truth.
Standing outside the Grand Lucayan Resort, the Free National Movement candidates, party officials, and party leader Michael Pintard say the long idle property continues to raise questions for residents, workers, and businesses across Grand Bahama. Pintard notes that prolonged delays have contributed to uncertainty for families and employees connected to the resort.
Behind this building are real people. Workers who missed paychecks, families who fell behind on rent and light bill.
The opposition leader questioned the government's claim that more than $120 million was collected from the sale of the Grand Lucayan, arguing that no public documentation has been presented.
If money was collected, show the proof. If the money was not collected, tell the truth. This property is too important to be treated like a political prop.
Attention then turned to the Grand Bahama International Airport, which the F&M described as a key component of the island's economic recovery.
To this day, the Bahamian people still do not know whether the airport will be rebuilt on the same footprint, whether a final design exists, what the true cost will be, and who will manage the facility once it is completed.
But beyond criticism, Pintard outlined what he called the Free National Movement's clear and practical vision for Grand Bahama, focused on completing long-promised projects and strengthening the island's economic base. Now, with Cabinet expected to meet in Grand Bahama this week, the Free National Movement says the visit presents an opportunity for the government to share updates and timelines on both projects. This, as government officials say they remain committed to development initiatives on Grand Bahama. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Ramiko Knowles.
Well, thanks very much, Ramiko. Chairman of the Progressive Labour Party, Fred Mitchell, has responded to comments made by the leader of the Free Nation Movement regarding developments in Grand Bahama. Mitchell says the opposition leader remarks appear aimed at drawing attention to himself, adding that the F&M leader is aware that positive developments are on the horizon for Grand Bahama.
He's heard that good things are coming, that an announcement is coming, the cabinet is going to be up there next week, and Grand Bahama is set to relaunch. Grand Bahama is doing better than it was 4.5 years ago. When the F&M left office, things were in a perfect and total mess. So what this is an attempt to sort of throw a bomb and try and distract the population from what is coming in the future.
Well, Mitchell adds that the opposition leader may wish to focus on the role of the Grand Bahama Port Authority in addressing issues affecting the island.
What he needs to do is to get on side the people of Grand Bahama and ask the questions of the people who are the owners of the city and why they have not put the resources into trying to get the city back on its feet. The government has been subsidizing it. The Progressive Liberal Party has done its best and will continue to do its best to develop the city. Things taking a little longer than we thought, but the fact is the development is coming. So that's Michael Pintard's story with this. This is simply a distraction. He's trying to beat the PLP to the punch, but the public is going to await the good news in the coming week.
Well, switching gears tonight, Seabreeze residents rolled up their sleeves at a hands-on budgeting workshop, learning practical ways to plan for the year ahead, hosted by Seabreeze Member of Parliament Leslie Miller-Bryce. The Smart Family Initiative gave families of all ages tools for real work financial success.
I want our community to be financially stable, not just getting by from one paycheck to the next, but thriving, able to invest in our families, in our homes, and in our dreams. Financial stability means peace of mind. It means having the ability to handle emergencies without fear, to save for the future, and to build wealth that can be passed down for generations. But none of this happens without understanding financial literacy. Knowing how money works, how to save effectively, and how to avoid unnecessary debt are skills that empower us all.
Nathaniel Butler of Juror Solutions led participants through a hands-on planner with income trackers, savings exercises, and paycheck tools, helping families plan their financial future.
So whatever life goals that you have, I only need you to write down a minimum of 3. If you want to fill it out to 5, that's fine. I want you to just quickly jot it down inside the book. What are your top 3 to 5 life goals? In life, you're going to rise to your incompetence. You're going to hit, and you're going to rise all the way to where you're competent, and you're going to hit the ceiling of where you're not competent. And so this is why we need to work on this.
Church of God Joe Farrington Road is getting a facelift. Construction underway since last July is set to be completed in time for the March convention. Overseer Bishop Joseph Smith.
The entire building was gutted out, and we have to reinstall brand new windows. A brand new roof was placed on this edifice, and we just had a lot of leakage over the years. And we saw fit that it was time for major renovations.
Well, progress is underway, but Bishop Smith says the church still needs public support and donations to finish the renovations.
The entire government school system, they use here at the Joe Farrington Road Convention Center, William Johnson Auditorium. We have graduations here. We have funerals here. We have conventions here. But the building is in dire need of renovation, because we need to make it ready for 2026.
Well, stay with us. Sports is up next.
Boys and Girls Empowerment Club of LW Young welcomed the newly appointed U.S. Ambassador, His Excellency Herschel Walker, and a team of officials to the annual Christmas social. Ambassador Walker shared parts of his journey to remind the students of the importance of perseverance.
Well, I played professional football for about 14 years. I was on an Olympic team. I was one of the fastest guys in the world. I've done a lot of things, but that's not the reason my life changed. My life changed because I quit feeling bad about myself. So the reason I tell you that, you got to feel good about who you are, because God had made you special. Because Jesus said, bring me the kids, bring them to me, because you have to know you are special.
Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, were among the officials visiting.
I wish you joy. I wish for you the lesson of kindness. I want to thank your principal and the teachers, especially Mrs. Wilmot, this morning, for the energy and devotion which she puts into kindness toward you and ensuring that you have a life which is filled with joy.
Principal Deborah Thompson shared the requirements for joining.
The club is open to every boy and every girl. So right now we have about 50 boys and 50 girls, but it is open to anyone. It's not the low achievers or the high achievers, anyone with the interest, I would say, in what the club is all about, and that is building children, empowering children.
I'm Bryden Wilson, and this is Ed Talk.
Welcome to your stress-free Sunday sports. I'm Eugene Stewart. Well, Bahamas Aquatics making their splash to the swimming season by hosting its two-day New Year kickoff meet at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center. Rounding out the pool in 8th would be Lightning Aquatics with 152 points. Manta Swim and Water Polo Club in 7th with 194 points. Alpha Aquatics in 6th with 197 points. Lyford Swim Club rounding out in 5th with 285.50 points. 4th would be the Black Marlin Swim Club with 343 points. Taking the bronze would be Barracuda Swim Club with 502.50 points. In second place, taking silver, the Blue Wave Swim Swim Club with 1,031 points, and taking home the gold would be Mako Aquatics Club with 1,036 points. This is the first meet of the year. Blue Wave Swim coach Dylan Brown says the group continues to set the pace.
First meet, we had the team had some mixed expectations. As you know, usually for Christmas break, the kids go off. Some are here. But for most part, the swimmers who were here during the Christmas break and for Christmas camp, they came up with some amazing time. Last night was pretty amazing. I think pretty much the entire team dropped last night. I'm pretty happy with the result. This morning was mixed this morning, so we're looking forward to see what we'll get later on this evening.
In track action, it was the 23rd Star Performers track meet getting out of the blocks from the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium yesterday with some great performances and qualifying times for this year's Carifta Games. On the field, Jakaya Roll would meet the qualifying standard in the under-20 girls long jump with a leap of 5.70 meters.
I expected it. I train hard. I work hard. I just came out here and do my best and did what my coach told me to do, and I put it out there. In the beginning, I just focused on all my techniques, what I learned in practice. I prayed to God, and then I just went out there, ran on the runway, did my pop-up and landed.
In the under-17 girls making their way down the straightway, it would be all Kiezra Thomas of Speed begins, setting a 23.48 time, as Breon Ward followed closely behind, also qualifying with a time of 24.49 seconds. For the under-20 girls 200 meters, it was all Alexis Roberts of Team Roberts dashing down, and this one no doubt as Roberts set a Carifta qualifying time of 24.12 seconds. As for the early positive results and qualifiers, B3A's President Jamiko Archer says Team Bahamas is gearing up for a strong Carifta showing.
Last year, we did our very best. I think the best performance that we've done in 40 years at the Carifta Games. And I'm telling you that this would be pure domination for Team Bahamas. I'm expecting even better performances. And so all in all, on the field, on the track, high jumps, vertical and horizontal jumps, the throws, we've been seeing some incredible performances, which I think is going to really tell a wonderful story for the Carifta Games.
And that's been your stress-free Sunday Sports. I'm Eugene Stewart. Have a great week, everyone.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code. Select your payment amount and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales here at CBS Bahamas. When it comes to hardware or home improvement items, we guarantee the lowest prices. That's our price match guarantee. If you find anything we sell for a lower price anywhere in the Bahamas, let us know about it. We will beat that price. We want your business. Shop at CBS Bahamas or cbsbahamas.com.
Hiding so you don't have to share. That's crazy. But sharing a 12-pack? That just makes sense. The new Crazy Puffs 12-pack. It's not crazy, it's Little Caesars.
Get your 12-pack Crazy Puff now for just $13.50, VAT inclusive, at Little Caesars, Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Charles Hollis Highway, and Prince Charles in the One East Plaza. Little Caesars, crazy in all the best ways.
Pizza, pizza.
What if the reason you're stuck is because of the cycles you keep repeating? Cycles of fear, cycles of doubt, cycles of waiting for permission to live the life God already called you to. Every generation has a moment when destiny calls your name. On January 30th, 2026, that moment returns. The movement that awakened thousands is back. Bigger, bolder, and more purposeful than ever before. This is Shift 26. Under the theme, Shift into Wealth, No More Cycles. This is not just another conference. It is a divine interruption. It's your permission slip to shift once and for all. A reset for your faith, your focus, and your future. So mark your calendars, gather your tribe, because this time, you're not just coming to be inspired, you're coming to be transformed. Shift 26, January 30th, 2026 at the Bahamas Convention Center. No more waiting, no more cycles. It's time to shift into wealth.
Time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Dan Dorsett joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Desmond. Before we take a look at current conditions, as always, first, let's take a look into what's shaping our weather for the next few days. High pressure across the Bahamas will continue to shift eastward tonight, making way for a cold front to enter the northwest Bahamas late tomorrow. That's Monday. Now, that front is expected to pass through the capital around 10 p.m., bringing a noticeable but comfortable drop in nighttime temperatures settling in as we head into the weekend. Now, outside of our studios this evening, we're feeling a temperature of 82 degrees, few clouds in the sky. Winds are south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Humidity is at 73% and pressure is sitting at 30.11 inches or 1,019.8 millibars. Now a quick check on temperatures around the Family Islands. In the northwest Bahamas, Freeport City and Green Turtle Key, 80 degrees, 78 in Alistown, Bimini, 79 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco and Bullocks Harbor, 80 degrees in Fresh Creek, Central Andros and Harbor Island, 81 in Camp Space, South Andros, Black Point, Exuma, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Arthurstown, Kid Island, San Salvador and Rum Key, 82 in Georgetown and Exuma, 82 also in Clarence Town, Crooked Island and Ragged Island, 83 in Betsy Bay and Acklands, and 82 in Matthew Town, Inagua, 81 in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Now turning to your boating forecast. In the northwest and central Bahamas today, winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet, and the high tide at 1 o'clock in the morning. And for those in the southeast Bahamas tonight, winds will be east to southeast at 12 to 18 knots, seas at 3 to 5 feet, and small craft operators are advised to exercise caution. For those in the northwest Bahamas, winds will be southwest at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet, a low tide at 7:25 in the morning, followed by a high tide at 1:11 in the afternoon. And in the central and southeast Bahamas, winds will be southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. Our satellite picture is showing mostly clear skies across the country, making for a very pleasant evening. For tonight, we're expecting mainly clear skies and a warm temperature of 73 degrees, and tomorrow, some sun with a few showers that's connected to the cold front, humid conditions and breezy in the morning with a temperature of 83 degrees. Now, looking ahead to your extended weather forecast, expect a warm day tomorrow with just a few passing showers, but after that, we'll settle into a string of sunny days with cooler, comfortable nights through the weekend before cloudy skies and scattered showers return on Sunday. Now that's your look on weather, and this is your reminder to slow down. Take it easy. It's a start to another beautiful week, and I hope you have a great one. Desmond.
Well, thanks, Dan. And finally, tonight, contestants of the Bahamas International Pageant Organization are stepping outside the traditional pageant mold, embracing a more hands-on journey that challenges them to work together, give back, and earn their place along the way. As the organization marks a milestone year, the focus is shifting from the spotlight to real-life lessons that extend far beyond the stage. President of the Bahamas International Pageant Organization, Tia Thompson.
So this year we wanted to do things a little different. We are approaching year 10 of our pageant organization, and this year we wanted to do things a little different. You know, the girls are so used to their parents and their guardians and supporters pumping everything into them during their pageant journey, and especially us as the organization, you know, pumping into them. We wanted them to get the experience of what it is to get up on a Saturday and, you know, go out and work and hustle and bustle, for them to be able to participate in the pageant and be a part of the pageant journey.
Now we caught up with Tanria Storr, Miss Teen International World 2025, and Miss Teen top model Christine DeRusso, Miss Teen Great Abigail Keys, as they shared the inspiration behind the fundraiser.
Thank you so much. Today we are here to raise money for Family Island contestants as well as people here living in Nassau. This is a very positive initiative, and we would really appreciate it if you would come out and support. Thank you so much for everything that you've done already, anyone who's came out here and supported us today. And yeah.
Good day. My name is Diamond Knowles, and I'm a contestant of Miss Teen Universe Bahamas. Okay, D-I-A-M-O-N-D. Yeah, Knowles, K-N-O-W-L-E-S.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christine DeRusso, and I am Miss Teen Great Abaco Keys. K-R-I-S-T-A-N-E-Y-D-U-R-O-S-E-A-U.
Good day, everyone. I'm Tenaria Starr, Miss Teen International World 2025 and Miss Teen Top Model. T-A-N-A.
Oh, wish them all the best. That ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. Have a good night.